We all in here twinning with matching t-shirts on. Swag champ.
All right, so I'm ready.
He got her kneecaps up. Go live. Here we go. Yeah, my knees, my thighs up.
Oh, baby, it's the way that you lay, the way that you play.
You ready, sis?
Lord have mercy.
Okay, now we're live on Facebook. So we good. What's up, y'all?
I feel.
Yes, I hear Josh.
I feel.
1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
We have our. No, this is good. This is good. This is good.
Turn me up.
Why I can't hear myself?
Hello, Parker.
No, but like even on relationship status live, I can't hear myself.
It's super delayed. About 5 seconds.
It's delayed.
So, what's going on?
I think I sound good. Take off.
Alright, let's go.
JP gonna take off in this bitch today. Oh,
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Chanel.
it's your boy J Powell.
We on relationship status, guys, and we are talking about foundation of friendship. How important is authentic friendship when building relationship with your partner? But before we kick off the show, we
Pay them bills. Pay them mother bills.
we got a special guest with us. We got Mr. Malcolm Powell with Bernig. I'm sorry, Powell and Bernig and Associates. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? How y'all doing?
You good?
I'm good.
All right, guys. So just a little bit of background about Mr. Malcolm before we let him chime in and let us know about what he does. Powell, Bernig and Associates, become your lawyers for life. PBA is a law firm in Athens, Georgia that handles personal injury, car wrecks, truck wrecks, wrongful death, medical malpractice, criminal defense, employment discrimination, and family law. Lawyers at Powell, Bernig and Associates are compassionate, hard attorneys who do their best in every case. Powell, Bernig and Associates is a compassionate, people-first law firm committed to exceptional legal representation and outstanding results. The attorneys treat each client's case as if it were their own. Call 706-549-6880, 706-549-6880, or visit powellbernig.com to schedule a consultation. Serving Atlanta and North Georgia and beyond. So first of all, I want you to give people the proper pronunciation of your law firm, please.
Sure,
Check me earlier.
sure. Well, my last name is Powell.
Mm-hmm.
My law partner is Marcus Bernig.
Bernig.
Yeah. It's a German pronunciation.
Okay.
So Bernig.
No R.
Yeah, no R in it.
So Powell
We DJ
Bernig.
flew that thing. Boy, listen. We was over here like. We
So-
apologize.
No problem.
We you know our hearts though.
No but love.
There you
I got
go.
you.
Absolutely. So Malcolm, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do.
Okay, we are a law firm. I guess we have about 5 lawyers. They're doing a little bit of everything. I mean, we're in employment discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got a few discrimination cases. One age discrimination case. We've got personal injury cases, a few wrongful death cases right now that we're working. 2 DUI wrongful deaths and one, I guess, malpractice.
Okay.
Medical malpractice led to a wrongful death. And we've got some giving wrong medications to people, that kind of thing, or the right medication at the wrong dose, or giving the right medication but giving it to somebody else,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. We've got, let's see, I think I wrote down a few of them. We've got a couple of police excessive force cases that we're working.
Oh wow.
Where cops have sort of gone beyond what was justice
You see a lot of that nowadays.
and what was acceptable. We've got a few nursing home cases,
Okay.
neglect, no abuse right now, but just rampant neglect kind of nursing home cases.
Okay.
And then let's see, we've got a couple of divorces. Divorces sort of come and go. They wrap up sometimes. So I don't know if we have any live in the house right now, but we started doing divorces. I had sort of prohibited divorces, to be honest. But
Why? Why do you say that? I
it's
want to
so
know.
scratchy.
They scratchy?
Man, they are scratchy. Scratchier than any of the other areas of law that we do.
Okay.
Divorce is, folks will come in a courtroom and argue about a death sentence. They'll come in court and argue about a murder case. We'll come in and argue about drug sentences, and it can be far less drama than a divorce.
Really?
Yeah, divorces get really scratchy, really bitter real fast. So,
Wow.
but we jumped in them. We've got lawyers who felt like they wanted to take advantage of that market, so they're in it.
Okay.
So that's something we're doing now. And then, and of course, we're doing some federal work. My law partner, Marcus, he does a lot of federal work. And federal work comes usually from drug conspiracies, coke and meth cases that come, and they pull down a lot of people at once. And all need lawyers. So he's in that sort of in that market, taking drug cases from Fed.
Okay. How long have you been around?
I have been practicing since 2004. I passed the bar.
Wow. Okay.
And went to the public defender's office. And then my law partner, I think, passed the bar a few years later. The two of us became law partners in 12.
Oh, wow.
He came into my office. I was single, solo, had a little office. He came in and said, "Hey, man, I want you to help me get a job at a big law firm. And, give me some tips and call and make." I said, "Nope. If you can make money for a big law firm, you make some money for me and you." So I sort of threw a net on him and grabbed him. Okay. Because the two of us used to try DUI cases. He was a prosecutor. I was the public defender. So we got along well. We were good friends, and I could trust him.
It's important in partnership.
Yeah, and in law firms, you got to be able to trust folks.
Right, absolutely.
Because money comes through the door. So.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about foundation of friendship, how important is authentic friendship and building a relationship with your partner. So, guys, we're about to really hash this out. So stay with us, and we'll be back on Relationship Status Live. It's your girl, Chanel.
Boy, J. Powell on
Power 108.9.
108.9.
You dig?
Okay, yeah. We lost a viewer because of this.
Because of the sound?
Yeah, she can't hear us.
You starting over. Crank that thing up. Yeah. I was at home. I was playing like all day.
So how did that feel? That wasn't so bad.
No, that was cool. That was cool. I thought I would have passed off.
You've been here before.
Thank you. I sat out there. I figured I sat out there to work. Put some stuff down. That's what the guy told me before I left. He's like, "Man, write down that case number."
Okay, it's working now. All right.
It's all power.
Well, the
bro.
power was kind of
It
out.
was all y'all. Now I got to pause and do the poor connection. We did.
We literally did.
Now what's going on? It's your service, bro.
No one's blaming you, but we're saying we lost a viewer because she couldn't hear. So however you want to say it. We appreciate you. Well, I mean, it's troubleshooting.
Y'all see how they do me? Counsel large.
Aren't you on Weight Watchers?
Little bitty Negro.
Right. Right, girl. You better give me that small.
Oh my goodness. Did you have some questions? questions for him?
No, ma'am. I'm good right now. I'm about to. What is it? 9:28. Y'all about to go. I'm about to turn this mic on and let y'all have that convo.
Not this segment, but the next segment.
I'll just go ahead and get it out of the way. So
Paris,
that-
come closer to the mic, Paris, too. Okay.
Hi.
Thank you.
So,
Oh, was it this one when we come back or next one?
no, it's not this one. It's the next.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got to talk about tonight.
You ready, Chanel?
Yes, I'm ready.
We the best music. 2019, we ain't taking no shorts unless we going on vacation.
We ain't taking no
Big fish. Another one. DJ
Yeah.
Khaled.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel. We're back here on Relationship Status Live.
Your boy J Powell checking in, P in the background, boss man to my right. You dig? This how we doing, this how we rolling. We twinning in here today. If y'all can't see us, check us out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Rapping,
get your
heavy, gang, gang.
That's right. Get your t-shirt at comministry.com. But anyway, guys, so we're dealing with foundation of friendship. How important is authentic friendship when building a relationship with your friend?
It is extremely important. Otherwise, you kind of can fall into a situation where maybe you have an obsession for each other. You don't really have like genuine love. I feel like one of the most genuine kind of loves you can have between another person is often through friendship. First, you can kind of fall into gaps of like, that's where you end up having issues of you get into the relationship, you have problems of like you're not accepting one another, you're not maybe being honest with one another, you're not maybe even having fun in your relationship because you don't have friendship yet.
Right. So, and this is more of a question I'm going to pose, and I'm either one of you can chime in. So how do you, because typically when you meet someone, there's a physical attraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you,
Not all the time.
not all the time? Okay.
Because sometimes you might have been cool with somebody and it just kind of fell into feelings being involved.
Okay.
So what if it's like the other way around? Go ahead.
No, because I was going to say, how do you balance that out and focus on the friendship? Like, how do you balance out how you feel, you know, and say, you know what, I'm going to kind of take my time and get to know this person, develop a friendship, you know, and create a stable foundation, you know, where we can really get to know one another without sex being a part of that dynamic, which nowadays is not the case. You know, so how do you do that without engaging on that level?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't get to that point to be able to do that until I had a few relationships kind of be sabotaged by sex too soon to learn that, you know, like I actually, if I like you and I want to like actually pursue you, then it's worth it to take the time to actually get to know you a little bit better first. And her and I definitely had a super like sexual attraction to each other in the beginning, but I just remember like literally taking like, I think at least a couple months to actually try to get to know each other first. And then in the very last relationship that I kind of started, I definitely like, we took like a while and we like made each other like wait to do it and actually try to get to know each other a little bit better. And I think it worked out a little better.
I think because Josh, like, well, I don't know. I won't say. Let me retract that, because typically, well, and I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I'm speaking from, I would say, past experience. When you meet a gentleman, like I said, there is a physical attraction. Like, how do you get that person on the same page with you? And I guess I may be getting ready to answer my own question in that, you know, you would express what your desires are in that particular, you know, connection. And, you know, I guess if that person is not on board with what it is that you want to do, then that's an indication that that person is not the right fit for you. What do you think?
I mean, I think you constantly got to communicate that. Even if things happen, sex gets involved or whatever, I still think you have to constantly remind the other person what's important and what you want to build with that person. Because sometimes you click with people in such a way and things are just moving and they going. And things will happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just think you can't lose sight of what is the main thing of what you need in order to really build something special. It's no different than the building we're in or anything else. It comes
Right.
from a foundation. So therefore, in a relationship, the better the foundation, the stronger the possibilities of it being more successful and working. And you know what the other thing is too is I think even if it doesn't work, I think if you're working on your foundation, then both parties can be able to see that and be able to move respectfully out of the situation if they're respecting each other enough to take those necessary steps.
Right.
So whether good or bad, it's just important, you know what I mean, to have that in order to have that type of growth and maturity be evolved in the situation.
And the key words you said is growth and maturity, because I have to ask, like, when you first meet someone that you've never met, obviously you're just meeting, do they come in with the intent of building friendship? I have to ask from a male perspective, is that something that's on the forefront of that person's mind? Or is it, I'm attracted to this woman, I'm not even, is relationship even a part of friendship, relationship? Is that even a part of the mindset?
It may or may not be. You know what I'm saying? I think that sometimes the world we live in, you see something you like it, you go after it, and it's just, you don't necessarily think about steps per se or a right order of how things should go. That's why, somebody has to be able to be aware of what it is that they want and speak on that. You know what I mean? If both parties are on the same page, then that makes it a better situation. But at least one person has to be like, hey, we need to try to work on this, or can we figure out this? Like, because, you start on that early on and it helps you, as you're moving throughout the relationship and as you're building. But, it's a lot harder to try to do things and take steps back and then try to say, hey, we need to get this or do this. And it's like, man, for what? We've been doing X, Y, and Z. Like, y'all just moving. So, you got to be able to express those things early on.
So how do you balance it though? Like,
by expressing it though. That's the thing. Like, you gotta, let's just say, right?
Okay.
You vibe with a person, y'all done took off, did something within the first month, two, whatever. Let's just say that's the case.
Yes.
I just think somebody has to be like, look, we see where things are going. Can we work on this? You know what I'm saying? This is something important to me. If you feeling me like that, then show me that by working on this. What is something that's important to you? That there's the balance, because it's not just you saying this is what I want or this is what I need, or can we do this? Ask the other person, like, hey, what do you feel is important to you? What do you think is necessary, or important things that could help me show you where I'm at, or how I value you or value us, or whatever the case may be. But you just got to be open with that and communicate that.
So let me ask, y'all know I do this really to ask a million questions. So how do you even and Malcolm, feel free to chime in. You have a mic. How do you even decide? Because when you meet someone, I'm sure I'm not. You're not thinking. Well, it just depends on where you are in your life. You're not thinking, I want to be their friend. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to know is, what is it? You're married. What is it? What was it maybe about your wife that made you say, I want to take time and really get to know this person and build something? Just because from just experience, that's typically not how it jumps off.
No, she was pretty and she liked kids. And so that was a strong draw for me, because I had a lot of children.
Okay.
I didn't, they weren't my kids, but I had a lot of children in my life from a previous situation. So, what you said about friendship, I think Paris said fun and Josh said foundation. It is easier to be in a relationship with a friend. It is easier to fall in love with a friend, I think, sometimes, and it be a foundation that works, because as things go and change over time, friendship and fun and those things they stick around. They can sort of weather a lot of storms. If you're in a relationship with someone and you just genuinely vibe.
Right.
You know, y'all are just friends.
So it's just organic.
Yeah, it fits.
So how do you temper that? Because if you're physically, I know for me, and I'll just speak for myself because I know I'm asking all the questions, but I know for me, just because I just had a realization probably like this year, because one of the things I used to think like, why is it that all my friends are, engaged? It always seems like they always have, a partner or in a relationship or dating.
Yes.
And I was the one that was single, and I just came to the realization, like, I don't date unless I really like you. Like, I'm not going to go out on a date with you. I'm not going to engage you on that level unless I like you. And some women, they just have to date. They just have to have someone in there. They just have to have that level of companionship, whereas I'm cool by myself. So my thing is, I'm not going to engage someone unless I want to build, I want to get to know you. I want to establish a foundation, but I guess I always wonder, like, from a male perspective, like, how do you get to that point? What you said, pretty, she was pretty and she loved children. For you, Josh, what is it that make you say, you know what, I really, I want to get to know this person a little bit more. I want to engage them on a different level, opposed to, I met this person and they seem cool and,
I think we all, no matter who we meet people, we're gonna get a feel for the most part what the intent is. Sometimes the intent can start one way and lead into something else. So the different many ways. But I think if you're in a space and you're seeking something, right? And I know you love using the word intentionality. So I think that, if you're open and you're in a space where you want something deeper, and that's on another level, and that's what you seek, you just have to be open with that, because, I'm a big believer of manifestation. So when you plant those seeds and you speak things like that into existence, those things should be coming your way. You just have to decipher now when those things are coming your way, what's for you and what's not for you. Now that's another,
how do you decipher? Look, no, it's not. I want to open it up.
No, I mean, a lot of things, because we spoke on this on a few shows. Like, it's the chemistry, it's the vibe, it's like what you pick from the person and how. I forgot what show it was, and we were talking about the fact that, like, people who are dating or talking to multiple people, how do you separate certain things? And it's like you can feel a vibe or a different energy from a person, and you notice how if you got 3 people that you're dealing with and you text a person more, y'all are talking on the phone more, you're really vibing with them on a whole other level. Like, you can feel that and you can sense that. So I just think, along with communication, along being open and things like that, you'll be able to, get the answers that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And just being in the right mindset in order to understand what it is that you're getting into. You know what I mean? But you just gotta know where you at. And if it's somebody that's just on the dating thing and that's what they want to do, then just be open and honest about that. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But the indecisiveness, ain't nobody gonna judge you, because at the end of the day, there's too many people out here. You know what I'm saying? And there are people that will match your fly, whatever it is that you want to do. There are people out here, shit, if you just want to date and have fun, you're going to bump into some people that just want to date and have fun. You know what I'm saying? And if it's something deeper that you're looking for, then that'll come your way. You know what I mean? You just got to be intentional about what you're doing and how you're moving.
All right, guys. So I want to read one of these practical principles here. One of the things that I found just in my, delving a little bit deeper and just researching, just, trying to understand the importance of it. A friend will stand by you no matter what. When you are friends with someone, you're not only friends with them when things are great, you stand by them when they need you for support, as they do for you in return. This is a type of unwavering love a relationship needs in order to thrive in the long term as well. Laying the bricks of friendship as a foundation is a great way to ensure this person will be there for you when the time get rough. You can have a friendship without a relationship, but you can't have a relationship without a friendship. And nowadays, people do attempt to have relationships.
And I'm not saying that some of those don't work.
Mhm.
It just may not be at the level. Like, this is what people got to understand, because even on my timeline and the things that we're saying, like, it's levels to everything that we do.
Mhm.
And depending on what you put in a situation is what you're going to get out. Now, if you want some surface level shit, then you act a certain way and you'll get that.
Right.
And I'm not saying that there are people who aren't married and been together or in relationships that ain't been together for years and years and years,
Mhm.
family, all of that. But they're still not in the space that they need to be in. They're not happy. They're not experiencing love in a way that they should be. How we should all experience love, a partnership, and a relationship.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want better, then take the necessary steps in order to get that. You know, get your foundation, get your spiritual foundation. You know, get something that can help you and your partner be on a whole nother level, because there's so many things that are gonna come both of you guys' way.
Absolutely.
No matter what your struggles are, it could be financial, it could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be whatever. You know what I mean? But y'all have to be on the same page in order to get through.
Get your
Everybody
leg to
gonna
stand on.
right. Because everybody, when it's good, is good.
Right.
And it don't matter if it's relationship, business, anything. When some shit going well, we all bumping our chest, and we can walk with our head held high and everything else. But then you see what time it is when things aren't going well, and that's
Right.
when you want to know what kind of partner you chose. You know what I'm saying?
I've also seen that. It's like, I find it can be frustrating. Like, if you're friends with someone and you're genuinely friends with them and they know you and they understand what type of person you are, you generally don't have to too much question their character.
Right.
But kind of like when you jump into a relationship and you haven't built that friendship first, as soon as you start to get into an argument and you start to kind of like disagree about something, now you're questioning each other's character and you're feeling like you have to like defend your own self. This person is like, you feel like they should know you better, but in all reality, how could they if you haven't actually worked on that friendship? And on that note of like building a genuine friendship, there was a person who I started talking to. We are no longer romantic, but we are great friends. And it's because during our time that we were talking, we actually took a lot of time in the beginning before things got physical to get to know each other. And now it's like, she's gone through some things, I've gone through some things, and we've actually been there for each other to where now like we're very supportive of each other in our like entrepreneurial endeavors and things like that. And honestly, she is someone who I would consider in the future giving it a go again and actually dating, because I've gotten so much to know, see that you're here for me as a person, I'm here for you as a person. That's something that I would be willing to stand on with you by. Like,
I want to speak on that real quick too, because again, that was like one of the things I was saying before is like when you're able to move in a way that's, you know, respectful and you know, in a much more mature space, even if it doesn't work out, it doesn't take all that drama and all that extra stuff to just walk away. I think that both people can just say, look, we're just not in that space. I still respect you. We're cool. And then we just keep it pushing. That alleviates all that negativity and all the bullshit that comes with, you know what I'm saying, people that ain't moving in the right way, because then it turns into some other stuff. They don't want to see you happy. They want to hate on you and all that. Like, we just putting too much energy into other spaces that it shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and it's just my opinion, I feel like we should want people to win.
Right.
We should genuinely want to see people happy, see people moving in the right direction, growing, prospering, loving one another, all of that stuff. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And you know, there are going to be relationships that work. There are going to be relationships that don't work. But I think the grown and mature part of it, you know what I'm saying, is to want to see that person be okay and do well. We don't have enough of that. You know what I mean? No matter what relationship is, it needs to be more of that.
Right.
and I think it's actually hard for people to get to that point of like wanting to genuinely see someone, you know, do well if you don't know why you want that person to do well. Like for me, it took, just for instance, back to her, like it took for me seeing when we first started dating, she was working like 2 and 3 jobs, and I saw the hustle in her and I like saw it for just what it was. And that was something that I really appreciated. And I want you to do well because I see you working hard. If you're ignoring all of that and all you have in your eyes is lustful attraction, how could you possibly have a genuine desire for someone to do well in life?
Right. No, that's real. That's real.
Good. Okay. All right, guys. All right, guys, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back and continue talking about foundation of friendship. How important is authentic friendship when building relationship with your partner? Is Chanel Scott.
It's your boy Jay Powell on Power 108.9. It's because I keep seeing people like it's breaking up, it's doing like they keep it's something, yeah, it's like the sound or something. They like it keeps pausing or something. But they on mine. I'm on my personal live. And then I heard some static in the headphone. That's why I was like, they're saying it's good now.
Well, how that be acting?
So you feeling personal?
What's his last name?
Oh, so you try to relate it back.
We definitely need to touch on that.
I want to touch on each one of them. So
Comfortable, honesty.
I guess after the next one, after we come back and read this.
So-
I do want to just to it. If you move in another situation, what's going on?
Wait, which one are we about to touch on? I'm gonna just
No,
touch
we're
on.
about to touch on the month with friends that last forever. I'm not a huge fan.
What you mean? Oh, you meaning last forever?
Saying like if you like how you talking about your you could go back to it. You know what I'm saying?
what you say?
But
I'm
I'm just saying from the
again?
standpoint like if you give somebody out of respect for your current situation, your friends with past, you know what I'm saying? I've had to deal with that. It's like they don't want that on the other end. So I'm like, it ain't even no need for you to have that. Like,
I have a unique situation and I'm proud. The girl that I was actually like just started something with or whatever, like they met each other. They're totally fine.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
Whatever happens. But that's a different conversation.
But see, but this is what I'm saying. That right there, I'm all for it. Everybody on the same page.
Right.
That's a whole different dynamic. What I'm talking about this is different.
But she actually started dating someone and then her and I were still friends. I actually met her other significant other during the time. Like we all hung out, like it was chill. Like I feel like when you have a certain level of maturity and the level, I really think the respect thing is the biggest thing. Like
I'm mature.
if you have respect for your friend, you're not going to do anything to sabotage the relationship that they have right now. And then vice versa.
I got all that.
What you mean?
You're not hanging out.
I just think we don't touch those.
I don't know. I'm just different, I guess, because I really didn't care.
But this is my thing though. If you're not in a space and everybody ain't open and free thinking like that, somebody has stop.
Well, I'm glad I got
Everybody in your space is free thinking like that. And that causes, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We get that, but
I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for
ain't
you.
on that.
What's up, y'all? Good people. It's Chanel Scott on relationship status. We talking about foundation of friendship and how important is authentic friendship.
We gotta pay these bills.
With your partner, guys.
I'm over here. You better pay these bills.
Wait, but I want to let.
You better pay these bills.
We gonna pay the bills, but I just want I want to remind people, don't forget to follow us on social media, relationship status live, and your girl at Chanel Nicole Scott. Where can they follow you at, Josh?
Joshua 21. Oh, I'm sorry. Josh 21 Powell.
So you don't even. All right. Lawyers at Powell, Bernig and Associates are compassionate, hardworking attorneys who do their best on every case. Powell, Bernig and Associates is a compassionate, people-first law firm committed to exceptional legal representation and outstanding results. The attorneys treat each client's case as if it were their own. Call 706-549-6880 or visit palmerbernig.com to schedule a consultation. Serving Atlanta and North Georgia and beyond.
You see how she went south side and then East Cobb like this. When come time to pay them bills, you feel me?
That's right.
Whole point.
That's right. So serious. I want y'all to talk about what y'all was talking about on break. Pick that back up.
Oh boy. Okay, so we were essentially discussing basically kind of like my point was like if you have a friendship with someone and say you decide to respect your current situation out and then say you go on to date separate people, having a high level of respect for each other as friends wouldn't allow you to sabotage the relationships that you have romantically. And I wouldn't expect it to be the other way around. Like I wouldn't expect a person who I used to talk to for your significant other to be like, oh, you can't talk to her anymore, especially if we do have a genuine friendship. Like I'm supporting them, I'm doing things for them, they're doing things for me. Like I don't expect that to trump our friendship if it's actually genuine.
But who determines that though? I mean, say your new significant other is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you ignore that or?
I would really have to take into account history at that point because it's like at the same time it's like you're new, and if I've been friends with somebody and they haven't done me wrong, how dare I sabotage my friendship with this person just because I'm uncomfortable? Maybe let's try to figure out things that we can do to make you more comfortable in the situation. Other than that, it's like I don't know. That would be really hard. And it depends on how I'm feeling the person. And we even have a genuine friendship going first for you to even be making calls like that. Cause
I feel you, but over time, I just want you to understand something because I think this is something that gets lost, right? The show before ours had a couple that are going on their 50th year being married.
Excuse me?
So when you think of people who are experiencing that level of success in a relationship, and you ask, what are some of the things that they're doing that are keeping them fighting strong? And you hear some of the same things over and over. So one thing, because you mentioned, like, well, if the person I'm with wants me to do da-da-da-da, well, how dare you, and this, that, and the other. So the only thing I would like to say is if that person is the person that you plan on being with, spending your life with, whatever the case may be, you have to put them first and be respectful of what they're feeling and where they're coming from. And they have to be able to do the same thing for you, because the minute we start putting ourselves above and over, like, it's going to start a domino effect, because now it's going to be a lot of head bumping and things like that, because everybody's going to want to be heard and not be willing to listen. Everybody's going to want to put their foot down and not be willing to take the foot off in order for greater good. You know what I'm saying? So I've had to learn that throughout life and in relationships, because I've had to make some decisions that I may not have necessarily wanted to make, but when it comes to peace in the household and things like that, I'm willing to do that. Now, I would like to revisit it, you know what I'm saying? And then come back to it maybe later on down the line. Is this cool? How are you feeling about it now that we've gotten past certain things and whatever? So I think that there's different ways you can handle it, but some people just ain't on that mature level, right? What you do in your situation, obviously it works because everybody's in that space. A lot of people aren't in that space, and that's why they can't handle like that.
For me personally, like, because in reference, like if it was somebody that I just started dating, I don't think that I could date someone who wasn't mature enough to handle that personally. I know that some people, I don't think that I would want to date someone who would, want me to compromise relationships that I already had that are genuine for something that hasn't necessarily fully developed. And then I think that we need to develop a friendship first in our relationship before we can discuss that and before I want to start making sacrifices and things like that.
I don't think it's an issue of maturity. I mean, because you don't know when you are merging with another person, it's a merging of histories. So you don't know what that person's previous experiences are. So you kind of got to delve a little bit deeper and find out why they feel the way they feel before you make a decision. And then also you need to go a little bit deeper and find out why they're uncomfortable in the first place.
That's a balance of both.
Yeah.
That's a good point, but it's both though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made a great point as well, because a lot of these things, again, have something to do with how a person thinks and how they move. And that's why I just said, like, at the end of the day, you just got to be open and understand what it is that you want in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Where you at with your partner. In Paris's case, the maturity thing is big in their group and how they move and maneuver. And that helps to be able to move how they move moving forward. And what you talked about, I mean, yeah, you got to know what a person's going through because you never know. You know, there's certain triggers because again, too, we all human. And you fuck around and catch feelings, re-feelings. So, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't let somebody else back in that's been there, done that. And folks out there be wilding, man. So, you know, you got to respect each other.
So are you a fan of, I believe you're not a fan of being friends with.
I don't do it personally because I know on my end that it's just been the other hasn't been comfortable with that, respectfully. And there's no shade or nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. And for me, I'm not tripping either. But I've also been in position where it might start out cool and then the person catch feelings. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to.
Do you cut it off? But do you cut it off? Like, say if you do have a friendship with someone, and say you are in a
I'm
relationship.
taking care of home first.
Okay.
You heard what Jay-Z said on that record why he ain't go to that wedding. That's why Kanye tight with his ass now. Because he chose to take care of the household first. You can't, at the end of the day, man, like, you got to protect home. You know what I'm saying? And after God is the covenant, like, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? And even if you're not married, that's cool too. But just understand that you got to take care of home, man, especially when you building with somebody, you got a family with the person, y'all living together, whatever, like, you got to take care of that first. And just be able to have those discussions and talk like adults. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about somebody trying to big up somebody. It's about how we work through this. I think we lose sight of that in conflict. It's like too many times we either pointing the finger or trying to prove a point that we end up losing. You know, like we won the battle, but we lose the war. Like we got to understand what's more important in the situation.
I want to get your opinion on this, Malcolm, but just before that, like on that point, for me, like, I don't know, in a relationship, I know how it feels to be insecure in a relationship. I know how it feels to be, you know, not necessarily confident in your partner's, you know, loyalty or whatever it may be.
Right.
So for me, I think trying to come to the level of understanding, really kind of pushing that is for me, like, I never want my partner to feel uncomfortable for long periods of time. I never want you to feel insecure. I would never feed into your insecurities. I want to do everything that I can to heal it and make it better in our relationship. So I guess as far as like the friendship thing goes, like if you were genuinely uncomfortable with a friend that I had, my biggest thing is how do we fix your discomfort? Like, period. Because I want you to be comfortable, but I also want to be able to have healthy friendships because that's what makes a healthy lifestyle for me all around. I need healthy romantic relationships and I need healthy outside friendships as well. So, but what is your opinion as far as like, how have you ever dealt with between your marriage, outside friends and things of that nature?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of with Josh. I respect that space. And I mean, Josh is clearly a good communicator in a relationship. I'm not the best communicator in a relationship. I think my wife is a gangster. We call her Little Gangster Jen. She's from Tacoma. But
From Tacoma?
Tacoma.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. My folks from Tacoma.
For
That's
real?
crazy.
Oh wow, yeah, she's from Tacoma.
Shout out to my Tacoma folk, man.
Yeah. So I try to respect that space. I generally don't have a lot of female friends who are single. Most of them are married, and I interact with them through the husband, you know,
Right.
through sort of a couple.
Say that again.
Through the husband, through a sort of a
People out here, boy.
you know,
As a respect thing that you have, a boundary.
Yeah.
that you have.
Listen.
Even my friends who are lawyers, you know, female lawyers and stuff, I know them and I communicate with them a lot of times through business and stuff like that. But mostly, you know, it's more of a couples thing. And I don't really have any sort of single female friends who call me, text me kind of thing. That's not a barrier. That's not a barrier I created. It's just one that it has fallen in place that way.
Right.
But I guess if I did have some, I would probably, my wife, I'm not sure how she would feel about it, but I think it could step on her toes. And if it did, I would certainly
Cut it off.
I respect that barrier. If she put it up.
And to piggyback on that, I do want to say something real quick. There's also nothing wrong with getting new friends in your new relationship. You know what I'm saying? And in order to create boundaries and certain things, like when you meet people with your significant other, I think that cuts down on a lot of the questions or doubts or anything else too. Like, yes, it's definitely important to have your relationship and to also have your personal space, your personal time. You know, that's very important to create something that's extremely healthy. I think that we, depending on the situation, you know, some things are let go of, you know what I mean? Or there needs to be something in place where the other party understands, like, look, we can still be cool, we can have what we have, but it just needs to be in a respect thing of my relationship. Because I think that's when Aaron was here and we kind of talked about friends of the opposite sex. And it was like, it's like that same thing, because at the end of the day, you want it to be something that respect, like your partner just feel like they're respected and they're held high.
Right.
Because no matter what, and even as dope as everybody is in the room, we still human.
Right.
We might wake up one day and get the side-eyeing who we with for whatever the reason. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody can deal with insecurities, anybody can deal with certain things, and everybody ain't built for that. So if somebody is having an insecure moment or they feeling a way, you got to do whatever you can to make sure they know that they're safe and that they're secure. And I think we lose sight of that part of it. You know, again, putting your partner first.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a second point here. Friends see and accept all sides of each other. When dating, we typically only want to show someone our best self. Always well put together, well behaved, well mannered. Of course, we should consistently try to be these things as often as humanly possible. But the fact of the matter is that we are all going to have bad days. We get stressed, we get sick, we face challenges. Life throws us curveballs, and expecting a shiny exterior every second of every day is not only unrealistic, but it's also dishonest. It doesn't matter when you roll over in bed with no makeup on, a fever, and a swollen eye. A true friend will love and take care of you just the same. Someone who is just in it for the sex or is fling will not. I couldn't agree more. Okay.
Absolutely. It's just I hear the conversation tonight from each of you, and it sounds hopeful, but I'm just not so sure that it's like that in real life. But then again, what do I know? I just always wondered the process. How do you get to that?
We gotta go break.
Yeah, we do. So when we come back, we're gonna continue to talk about foundation of friendship. How important is authentic friendship? Build a relationship with your partner.
Oh my God.
The girl Chanel.
Your boy J Powell, man. Powell 108.9. She all fucked up over there.
Wait, was that the point you wanted me to fill up in the point?
No, I just like.
I get to what point?
Wait, was that the point you wanted me to read?
No, I was just like.
Oh, okay.
No, but I want you to know you read it, but you don't read.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna talk about that. And then, we said we can say Josh, you get that third one. Yeah, the third one.
Okay, so on this one, that's what I'm talking about, because it's like, okay, say if you have like, I don't. No, it didn't anything. I don't know, man. Like, if you got a friend that's like, all I know is in a relationship, one of your actual friends better not be doing more of these things for you than your relationship partner. Period.
But
then that's a problem.
But that's why I said because you gotta think about this too. When you got used to when you built something with somebody else, and then somebody new comes in, and you're trying to build with that person, right? But you've been so accustomed to reaching out over here, and then over time, even if the other person's cool, they're gonna be like, "What's up?" Like,
but you still gotta offer it though too. Like, even if I'm giving you time and space to show me what type of nurturer or compassionate partner you are, you gotta show up. You still gotta bring yourself to the table. You still gotta be a friend before we build a relationship together. You gotta be a friend in me first.
I know that, but if you pouring over here?
But
How you gonna pour over here? If you got a cup, if you got 2 cups, this is what I'm saying. You got 2 cups, and you pour more over here than you are over here. And
But if I'm not pouring anything anywhere and I'm literally just existing,
there's no way there's no way you're just existing.
rare.
Nobody should be out here just existing. We have failed and we just don't
Say if I
exist.
tell my friends, me and both my partner on stage, my partner will be like, oh, okay, I hope you feel better. They be like, oh, okay, I hope you feel better. But it also be like, hey, you want me to bring you some soup? And my partner ain't even offered to bring me shit. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And then one day, wake up.
Never know why your partner could be like that, what they could be on, and why they're not taking that extra. You just never know. Maybe they're the type of
That was a bad example.
No, it's a great example. I hear what you're saying. That's why I just said.
But I guess like as far as it's like even not comparing two people, I still expect someone who I'm in a relationship with to love me when I'm ugly,
Yeah.
kiss me when I got morning breath, all that shit.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't have to partner. She was like drunk as fuck. Like I'm helping you to the bathroom, run up just like I would one of my homegirls. That's the type of compassion that I would want back as well.
All I'm saying is, if you work towards this person, you understand that your friend is and your partner. Because over time, like we're all human, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody might be like,
Because you something that other person fulfilling something that the person.
That's what I'm saying. And all I'm saying is that's my work. You're trying to get friends with me.
but you're making them fight like this.
No, I'm not making you, but I'm just saying from my observing, like I have to ask myself, why am I even pursuing you romantically if you're trying to be friends with me?
But that's because you know what, like all this conversation sounds good, but does that really have to go out in real life?
It does. I've been blessed with wonderful semi partners.
I was ready, huh?
You told her what a button was.
Because I like it low.
We got to start getting to these comments. We got to read some of these comments.
What they saying?
Yeah.
Hey,
I gotta stop drinking this beer.
the girl Chanel.
Yeah.
It's your boy J Powell, Power 108.9.
On Relationship Status Live, guys. So we've been talking.
What's the name of that song?
Drake.
I produced that.
What's the name of that song, though?
Got it?
No.
What is it?
Jaded.
Jaded. Oh. Hey, I don't listen to radio like that. But anyway, guys, we been talking about foundation of friendship. How important is authentic friendship when building relationship with your partner?
But I did that because you said something about being jaded.
Right, because I was saying that my perspective on this whole topic is really jaded because having this conversation with you guys is refreshing, but I'm just not so sure that it happened the way that we've been describing. Like,
it doesn't move.
Right. And I just wanted to touch on that because typically the times where I've been able to develop a friendship, a genuine friendship with someone of the opposite sex, where maybe, later on down the line, we decided, we're attracted to one another. Neither one of our focus was on each other when we were developing that friendship.
So somebody asked, they said they're confused at the level of friendships we're speaking of. So can you reiterate? They want to understand what level of friendships are we speaking of.
We're talking about friendship when you've met someone that you're attracted to, you want to get to know.
Mm-hmm.
Important is it to develop that foundation of friendship? So in a romantic context,
into
the
friendship into
a relationship.
Well, just not just that too, yes, but just the friendship. I focus on the friendship.
on the edible. She was like,
No,
too.
because I mean, yes, friendship into a relationship, absolutely. But just the focus of how do you even develop the friendship when you're just engaging someone from the very start? And what I was saying is that typically it's haven't had experience where we would on the same playing field where we were, engaging friendship and evolving into a relationship where we both at least knew about it.
But some people, real quickly before we move on, some people already like they have a mindset of what they doing and how they moving. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are just so that they're not thinking about building foundations or doing anything. Some people just out here moving and doing what they do.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They're not thinking about the necessary steps.
It does usually kind of even happen like that, even if you're trying to like hold the reins and like hold the brakes on it and try to not like have it be sabotaged by, just kind of like in like initial attraction. In my personal situations, honestly, the genuine friendship was not built until we both took a step back from the race that we were running, kind of like down this kind of like lane of being like, oh my gosh, I'm so attracted to you, constantly trying to like hold ourselves back from that. And also but that was only because we had an intention of actually building something that we knew it would last, and we knew it would not last if we did not try to build a genuine friendship first.
Do you think, just realistically, do people enter into friendships with the, I mean, it happens. I'm not saying, I just think it's the exception. I don't think it's the rule, where you meet someone and you enter into a friendship with the hopes that it evolves into a relationship.
That can be a little tricky. I do think that happens.
Because I just bit the same edible you did. Can you ask that one more time? I was reading. On my bad. I'm over here answering and reading.
No, I was just saying that I don't think that it's the rule. Like, I think it's the exception when two people come together from the very beginning and say, you know what, I want to develop this friendship in hopes of it evolving into a relationship. When it happens, typically you have a friendship. You may be attracted to one another, but you may also know that person's focus is over here. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of wait your turn in a sense. I just don't know of many scenarios where that happens.
So then is that a genuine friendship though? If you have alternate motives in the end, if your motive is really to get with them, like,
I'm just saying that, if you're attracted to the person, you got to prove to yourself.
True.
But if that person is not into you, they're not into you.
But that's why you got to speak on it, Chanel. Speak on it. I think the word that you don't want to hear is being afraid of rejection.
Absolutely.
But we can't do that, because what I think, in my opinion, what will hurt a person more is when they're on something and the other person ain't on that, and it was never spoken, and that you just keep going and you doing what you're doing, and now you gonna resent somebody because you motherfucker, you knew I would know I didn't know nothing, and you done laid up and did something else, and somebody. I'm just saying that don't always have to be the case.
Right.
I'm not even saying it's you. I'm just saying people in general, because they're not communicating. They're on level 10. The other person's on a 3.5, 4, and then they wondering why there's this tension or bumping the heads, or somebody ends up resenting the other person. It's like you didn't communicate where you were. Give not only for yourself, which is most importantly, but give that other person a chance to, you know what I'm saying? Like, acknowledge where they're at. Are they willing to be patient to work through that? Are they on the same level that you are? Or are they like, no, good? And then you figure out how y'all move going forward from there. But you got to be able to communicate.
Now, I'm with you. Now, if we're talking about me personally, I have no issues. I communicate my intent from day one. I personally cannot be in a situation where I'm attracted to someone and I not speak on it. That's just me. And then whatever happens from that point going forward, it is what happens. But at least I spoke on it. But there are people who engage people in friendship and they are attracted to that person and never speak on it.
I think that leaves you in a place to sabotage your friendship in the long run, honestly. It could lead to a lot of things.
Sabotage yourself.
Right. I think to answer your other question, though, I think that you had is like, I honestly think, my personal opinion, the way that human chemistry is set up, unless you genuinely did start as like friends first and then you realize through conversation like we might have a little bit of a connection. On the general level, I think that chemistry that brings people together and initial attraction usually is so strong that you do end up bypassing kind of those like signals, like those like caution lights and stuff like that. You do genuinely want to like run a little bit faster, and then it takes for someone to kind of like step back for a second and be like, wait, we didn't even like touch these bases or anything like that. I do think that it is much harder if you're not already actually just friends for you to come into a situation slowly and say we're going to actually develop a friendship
and
first.
That's what you just described is exactly the context that this topic is developed. Like, how do you come in, take a step back, and allow that friendship to evolve before you decide that you want to take it to the next level in relationship when you already know coming through the door that you're attracted to that person?
I think you got to get that out first, and then you can get to that. You got to get the initial
Well,
spark
you
out.
got the spark out, though.
You
You're
do. You got to get the initial spark out.
What you think, Josh? You gotta get the initial spark out.
I've been saying the same thing. I ain't even repeat myself. I got the next thing right here.
Okay, go ahead and hit it.
I've been waiting on y'all because Mike telling us to wrap up. I just want to say real quick. It talks about friends are y'all crazy. It talks about friends are always honest with you, and it says, let's be real about this. Someone who will always just smile and nod will never be honest with you when you need them to be. They will never be able to give you constructive feedback or say anything that would hint you don't have every aspect of life completely figured out.
Take that edible.
Neither party wins in a situation like this. You don't win because if you wish to genuinely improve in an area of life, he or she will always tell you everything is fine. You can never grow. Also, they never win because if everything is not really fine, then you will never learn what will make your partner happier, therefore never be able to work on it. Having this type of honesty is essential. Always keep in mind, friends are never degrading or discouraging either. It's about positive, constructive feedback. And a lot of you mofos out here.
Can't even take no constructive feedback.
In closing, this is what I want to say. There's a lot of people, and it just ain't just about relational, just friendships in general. Y'all got some folk around you, people that ain't holding you accountable, ain't telling you what time it is, ain't even be honest with you. But at the same time, you don't even want to hear no honest shit. Y'all got to tighten the fuck up. Understand, man. We growing. It's about maturing. It's about being a better person as we move forward. Because if not, all we're going to do is have some suckers, get with some suckers, breed suckers, and we're going to keep that thing moving. Love to all, man. Let's spread this thing the right way and stop being on the BS. You dig what I'm saying?
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Friends.
I think my partner, he said it best. But guys, before we go, follow us on social media, Relationship Status Live. You can follow your girl at Chanel Nicole Scott on all social media platforms.
You can follow your boy Josh on Josh 21 Powell. I'm still on the edible.
He's on edible.
P, what can we follow you on?
You can follow me at chroniclesofparis.a.
And Malcolm, did you want to leave us with a last few words?
It's been a pleasure. I enjoyed myself and learned quite a bit listening to you all. And if folks need lawyers, let us know. 549-6880. Palmore Bernig and Associates. We're in Athens, Georgia. Love to represent you. Give us a call.
And what's your website?
PalmoreBernig.com.
And are you on social media?
Yeah, we are actually. I think it's Facebook, PalmoreBoening.
MySpace. He ain't got no gram, y'all. All my OGs go to Facebook, check my dog out. You
Black Planet.
Yellow Pages.
All that.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back July 11th for a new show of Relationship Status Live. Until then,
we out this thing, man.
we out.
Power 108.9.
Relationship Status Live.
Bye.
Somebody said.